folks, this is John Lubinsky with River Creek Rods, here today to do an experiment. We're going to compare the thermal retention of carbon fiber handled rods versus cork handled rods. And what we're going to use to do that is a thermal heat gun. This gun will give you a picture of the image and a various gradient of palette colors to display the heat signature of anything you pointed at. So today we've got both River Creek rods, carbon handled rod, and a typical cork handled rod. And here is our thermal imager. It's made by Fluke, and the model number is a TI-25. And what we've got down on a cement floor, which is a fairly cold thermal heat sink, is a River Creek rod, a typical cork handled rod. Okay, so here we go with the experiment. There's the handle again, and we're going to start with the carbon fiber handled rod. And I'm going to grab the butt end of this rod with my hands. Oops, there we go. I was focused on the wrong one. Okay, so alright, and I'm going to let go. And let's see how long. You can see where the red is. That's where the heat is embedded into the carbon fiber handled rod. You can see it's still there. Okay. And it's still retaining heat. You can see if we sweep upward towards the top of the handle, it's green. That means it's cold. Back down here is the heat from my hand in the rod. So it's retaining heat quite a while. Alright, now let's go try the same experiment on the cork handled rod. I'm going to move it up. See the cork handled rod, we can see that it's green. I'm going to grab the back end of the rod again for about 10 seconds. And I'm going to let it go. And we're going to see, oh, there's no heat signature. So the heat is already dissipated off the cork handled rod. Same settings, we're going to go back to the carbon fiber handled rod. Okay, there's still a little bit of heat left. You can see the red in that rod, in the handle. As we move it up, kind of still see there's a little trace of heat left in that rod. Okay, let's do it one more time. Again, I'm going to grab the carbon fiber handle rod, count to 10, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010. I'm going to let it go. And there's the heat signature again. It went on pause. Put it back. Okay, so it's still there. Okay, same thing. Going back to the carbon or to the cork handled rod. It's green, it's cold. And we're going to hold it 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010. There's no heat. There is no heat in that handle. So I think we've busted the myth. Everyone thinks that carbon fiber handled rods are cold and cork handled rods are warm. In fact, let's go back to the carbon fiber handled rod. There's the heat. In fact, it is exactly opposite. So there you go. Alright, so that experiment turned out well. The next experiment is to see how water impacts the thermal capacity of the rod and the handle. So I've got a bucket of water, and we're going to go ahead and dip the handle into the water and then see how fast we can warm it up with our hands. So here we go. Here's a bucket of water. This happens to be a Sportsman's Warehouse bucket of water. And again, we've got our carbon fiber handled River Creek rod and our cork handled rod as a comparison. So here we go. We're going to take the same thermal imaging camera, our Fluke TI-25, and we're not going to change or adjust any settings. We're just going to simply look at signatures of both rods before we put them in the water. So there's the River Creek rod. You can see that's fairly even, a little bit of heat retention in there from when I handled it last, possibly. And then there is, starting at the back end, the cork handle has some heat in it as well. Okay. Alright, so let's dip the River Creek rods one into the bucket. I'm going to go ahead and set this down. I don't have any helpers today, so I'm doing this all on my own. So let's grab the carbon handled rod and let's dip it in the bucket just part way, just up to where it says River Creek rods, and that's it. So let it sit there in the water for a little bit, and the upper part of that handle will remain out of the water, and we should be able to see a difference in the heat signature when we pull it out. Let's go ahead and pull it out, and we'll lay it back down on the cement, and let's get our thermal imaging camera again, and let's just see what we got. There we go. There's the part that did not go in the water, and you can see the part that did go in the water. It's purple. It's purple. There's the line out of the water into the water. Let's calibrate it. There we go. Okay, there we go. So that part worked. Now let's see how long it takes. This will be a bit tricky to warm up that handle, that last part of the handle. So I'm going to hang on to it. 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010. Go ahead and set it down. And let's grab the thermal image on that guy. Okay, there's where my hand warmed it up. There's a little spot where my hand didn't warm it up, and there's where it was out of the water before. You can kind of see a little bit where I didn't quite get my hand clear up to where the water was, but I was able to warm up the bottom of that handle within 10 seconds pretty quickly. Alright, let's go ahead and try that with the cork handled rod. So same thing, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to dip just the bottom of that rod into the water, just probably about 3 inches up. Let it sit there for about 10 seconds. Let it absorb some of the same heat as the water. And let's pull it out. And let's set it down on the cement again. Grab the thermal imaging camera. Okay, you can definitely see where it was in the water, purple. I'll try to get rid of this reflection a little bit. And that's the part that was out of the water. In the water, out of the water. Alright, I'm going to grab it for 10 seconds again with my hands. Let a little bit of the, you can see where it's still wet right there. I grabbed just the bottom part of that. So we should be able to see a demarcation zone where we've got heat, cold, and then heat again from when it was out of the water. 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 1010. I'm going to grab the camera again and let's see what we got. Well, not much heat got put into that handle. That's the end of the handle right there. So you can kind of see why, though. When you look at the handle, it's still retaining water. It still soaked up some water. It's got a lot of heat in there, well, a lot of the same temperatures of water, because there's water in the cork rod. Where now we didn't shake or wipe this rod off here, this graphite handled rod. It just simply dries quickly because of the way the surface area is of that water. It's a water hating material, so it's hygroscopic and it will shed drops of water off fairly quickly and heat up fairly quickly. So there again is the carbon fiber handled rod. It's been sitting there for a while. There's the back end of it that was in the water for a bit. There's the demarcation zone, and then there's without any water touching it. And here is the cork. And it's still quite cold all the way down to where it went in the water. Alright, got the idea?